This is a drawing. It's kind of hard to see, but it's by a student that was actually, I think, in this room many years ago, that I commissioned some artwork for a book I was writing. And I asked him to draw anything about what it's like to be a teenager today. And he drew me this picture. And he calls it Tangled in Today. It's a picture of a signpost with one arrow pointing towards yesterday and the other arrow pointing towards tomorrow. And he's standing in today. And at the root are leaves and vines and ivy in which he is tangled in today. How can we untangle ourselves and go forward in being the people we want to be as 7th graders, 8th graders, 9th graders, high school students, adults, parents of teenagers? It's a very important word, and it's one that I don't talk about enough, but I've come tonight to talk to you about. To untangle yourself and be in this moment and to be fully alive today, I want you to know this word. It's not just once a year on Yom Kippur that we use this word. It's not just that one time when you ask somebody to actually listen to you that we use this word. It's every moment to help us be in this present moment. The word is forgiveness. It's so powerful. I want to talk about forgiveness for just a moment to help you come into who you are and to know you are enough. So many students ask me, how did you forgive the guy who infected you? He knew he had the virus when he gave you his phone number. He knew what he was doing. How do you forgive someone like that? And here's my answer. So that I could no longer be tangled in today and be able to move forward into an elegant future, the same future I want for you. Elegant and whole and rich and full of love. Forgiveness is compassion plus understanding. Compassion, trying to have some feeling, tenderness for the person that hurt me. Throw into the mix some kind of understanding for the ways in which that person behaved. Together equals forgiveness. So there I was, trying to figure out a way to forgive this guy who infected me or from whom I got the virus. And I had a memory of a time that we were standing on a street corner about to go to a movie together, and somebody next to him said, "Hey, watch where you're going, loser," and pushed him. This guy, my intrepid, wayward hero, the guy who would infect me later that night after the movie, this guy said to him, "Watch where you're going, loser." And I remember my partner cower. When I try to forgive the guy who infected me or from whom I got the virus, I think not about the unsafe sex and about him knowing what he was doing. I think about the guy in line who was being bullied. I think about something that makes me have compassion for him to help me understand. Maybe he was having a hard life too. Maybe his pockets were also filled with words that haunted him. Maybe he was afraid of his future. And putting those two things together, a memory of a time that made me feel a little tenderness for him and understanding that there was a journey that he was on, maybe leads me towards at least some way that we call forgiveness. I want to teach you how to forgive. Because we say in our world today, "My bad, sorry," not a full apology. To me, a full apology has 5 parts. 5 parts, and I will tell you those parts, and then I will show you or model for you how I have forgiven myself. Number 1, when you apologize to somebody, the thing you say is, "This is what I did." It's hurtful, but it's important to be able to be mindful of the fact, this is what I did. So I say to myself, I had unsafe sex. I didn't love myself enough to use a condom to protect myself. I believed that I wasn't enough. This is what I did. Number 1, my mistake was that I didn't think I was enough. Number 2, this is the impact that it had on other people and myself. Got myself infected, broke my parents' heart, made my life very difficult for many years, have to live with the consequences for the rest of my life. The impact. Number 3, this is what I've learned. I have learned that life isn't very long and it is sacred. I have learned that I need others to reflect back to me that I exist. I've learned that we are contradictions and that sometimes life hurts, but even so, we belong here. I have learned, even in the darkest of moments, that I am, you are enough. And 4, I promise I'll never do that again. Or at least I'll try. I'll try to behave better. So in the future, I'll use a condom. In the future, I'll tell my partners that I have HIV. In the future, I won't put myself at risk. I will respect myself and love myself to never do that again. And the final point, the 5th way to complete a full apology is this. It is an act of service. It is some way of getting back into integrity with yourself and the world. It is doing some loving kindness. In Hebrew, chesed. Some act of kindness. So what is that for me? I come here tonight to speak to you, to see you, to love you. I get myself back into integrity by loving you, and in the process, I forgive myself.